And we are back.
Whoop, whoop.
We are back. Hey, Will, we are back. I don't know if you noticed, but we are back, dude.
Fucking back, son.
We are freaking back. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Guys, hey, thanks for tuning in. Another episode with your finest. Hey, yours truly, myself, of course, my man, Will. Guys, we're over here to help you find comfort in all this chaos. All right. We're going to give you a little common sense analysis to an uncommon world. All right. And there's a lot of uncommon shit going on right now. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but a lot. All right. But you know what? We're going to help you through it. So don't even worry. So if you haven't already, guys, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, be part of the Comfort and Chaos community. We're going to continue to pump these out for you guys, along with other additional cool ass content that actually just kind of goes and flows with the whole what we're working with here in Comfort and Chaos. So, hey, thank you guys already. And those of you who've already been continuously tuning in, I've been reading the comments. Thanks for you guys. Trust me, I'm tracking. I'm seeing a pattern here. Hey, I appreciate that, guys. That support definitely goes a long way, and I really do appreciate you guys, and you're a valuable member of the team. But that being said, we're not going to waste no more of your guys' time, because time is precious to us all. All right. So we're not going to waste too much, and we're going to dive right into this. But before we do, I gotta hit up Will and see how he's been. Will, how you been, man?
Great, man. I'm doing awesome. I just got in my Silencer Central t-shirt today. Picking up a couple cans
snap
for the toys. We'll have those coming up here, at some point out at the range.
Okay.
Will,
it's looking a little tight there around the.
It's fucking. They sent it to me medium.
I don't know if that's just me, but it's looking a little. I mean, you're not in those staff sergeant days anymore. If you know what I'm talking about.
No, no. I'm retired. I can fucking eat what I want. Go fuck yourself.
Damn right. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
I'll also drink what I want. Like
I'm
this
just kidding,
delicious little
ooh, what are we sipping today?
With some Buffalo Trace,
a Buffalo Trace old fashioned
unofficial sponsor. Unofficial sponsor.
Oh hell yeah.
It's not like our official sponsor.
Not yet, but we're still working that.
But we do have a guy who has sponsored this channel. Don't Tread on Me flag company. And if you want one of these amazing flags right before Christmas, you need to head over to handcraftedveteran.etsy.com. Use that coupon code right there and down in the details.
Hell yeah, guys.
Where's my discount? And he will hook you up.
Where's my discount? Guys, this is handcrafted, handmade, solid wood. You can hear me knocking on that. That's solid wood. Yeah, I had to mount that just because there's a lot of weight. It's solid. It's going to last forever.
It's heavy as shit.
It is. It is very heavy. But guys, it's awesome. Go get yourself one. Christmas is right around the corner. Don't be late. Don't be that one who doesn't have a gift, okay? And get something unique. You can't find this shit on Amazon. I'm just going to tell you straight up. You can't. So.
No, not quality like this. Not like a big, heavy ass, gigantic piece of real American wood made by a real American veteran. No, you don't get this kind of quality.
No, you ain't gonna find it anywhere, guys. So good luck. Use the links in the description, guys. Use Where's My Discount for that discount code. And hey, make sure if you guys get one, hey, take a picture, tag me, tag Comfort and Chaos in your Instagram post, and we'll show you some love here. We'll even pull it up. We'll pull it up right here as we're doing our intro. We'll pull it up and give you a big shout out.
And if you want, like those out there, right? I now have a silencer guy. So if you want, reach out to me in the DMs and I will put you in contact with my boy over at Silencer Central. Again, unofficially, and get you hooked up. Amazing service over there to fly right through that process of that is normally an absolute nightmare. And they make it super easy. So if you're interested in a can, hit me up. I will link you up with my guy. Direct line at Silencer Central.
Hey, Will, do you have a Zen guy?
No, I'm heterosexual.
Okay, fine. Whatever you say, man. Don't knock it until you try it, though. All right.
Hey, man, you suck one dick.
Hey, he's on one today,
Okay,
guys.
careful.
He's on one. How many old fashions have you had, man?
We're not talking about that.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, that's good to hear. So, Will, apparently there's some craziness going on right now.
Oh, Jesus, dude. Yeah,
Dude,
man.
I would love to hear your insight, and I'm pretty sure most of the team here would love to hear. But apparently, and I will say this: we were discussing this a couple days ago, but a CEO of the what's the name of the company?
United Healthcare.
United Healthcare, which is an insurance company, correct? Are they an insurance?
Yeah. Medical insurance.
And was basically, and I'm pretty sure you guys are all tracking, it's been all over the news, but this guy was legitimately assassinated. He was executed outside of a hotel, like early in the morning in New York.
Yep.
And with was it like a 22 with a silencer?
I think it was a 9mm.
Pistol? A 9mm, but it did have a silencer. And you were just advertising silencer, right?
Yeah, it's a little different, but yeah. I've got questions. We'll get into it. We'll talk, but
we'll get into it.
Questions.
But so this guy, and there's some CCTV footage of basically the whole thing playing out. And there's even, if you pay attention, there's even what seemed to be like a malfunction, like it misfired or there was a malfunction, and the guy literally completed jumped into some misfire procedures, and got the rounds off. But when I saw that, a lot of people are going all over the place. I saw that and I was like, okay, this guy definitely knows what he's doing. He definitely knew what he was doing. He knew about what angle to stand on. He obviously knew there was a camera there, but he also knew, hey, here's what I'm going to wear. Here's where I'm going to stand, where I'm going to position myself, and so forth. I'm pretty sure you did the same thing, Will, but obviously we pay attention to a lot of those details. And then of course the media just went and did the media things after that. But apparently that guy was caught today.
Yeah.
Or the suspect. Yeah.
The alleged, the person who allegedly did this, he's still a suspect. He has not been charged, on the New York side. He was charged. So he was rolled up in Pennsylvania, and he's been charged on some gun charges and is waiting extradition to go to New York, where it looks like he's going to be charged in the CEO killer. Brian Thompson was the CEO, United Healthcare. He was hit out in it's about just before 6:00. He was in New York for a conference, which again, like as we start talking through these things, right? Like if the spidey senses aren't going off, I've got questions. But so this guy, right? Like he goes to New York, alleged hitman goes to New York, utilizing fake identities. He's got fake IDs out of New Jersey. Checks into a hostel down the road. Right. He does an right, like what looks like is a 9mm pistol with a suppressor on it. That is what we are finding out now is a ghost gun, right? So it is a 3D printed gun.
Ooh. Okay.
Which it kind of explains, right? Like those things are notoriously shitty. And misfire a ton. Right, unless you really got to be good at creating those things. So 3D printed handgun lower, right? You can order, if we understand, and we'll explain it, right? So with a firearm, specifically a handgun, the piece that is serialized, right? That is the gun, is the lower, right? The lower. All right. All the upper, the parts, the trigger, everything else that goes inside of that, right? Like you can order online, like and have it shipped to your house, right? It's that lower piece that is serialized that is considered the gun, right? And that's where you would undergo a background check, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Right. So there are designs out there on the internets where you can just, if you have a 3D printer, in theory, you could print one of those. And that's where they talk ghost gun. Like that's that term.
That is crazy. So one, that explains obviously the misfire actions that he experienced. But two, I mean, this guy obviously, would you say he's experienced?
So this is where it gets weird, man. So I had two theories going in here. Let's finish the story, right? Because
yes,
it gets really like
go all over.
I don't want to go down the fucking like I'm going to go down the rabbit hole. Like we're going to take the magic mushroom and we're going on a fucking Alice in Wonderland trip here in a second, ladies and gentlemen.
Touch the furry walls.
Woo! So here's what they knew at the time, right? Like, again, right? Like the CEO walks out of his hotel. It's like 6 a.m. Dude walks up, pop, pop, pop. Again, there's a malfunction in there, right? Like,
yep.
And on the casings of the bullet, right, he has written deny, defend, depose. Okay.
What?
Yep.
Okay.
Right. So that is like the buzzwords in the healthcare insurance industry, right? For how they go about denying coverage on as many people as they can, right? They deny it, they defend, right? If they have to depose, right? Go to court.
Yeah.
Okay. So right off the bat, right? Like it's pointing to like a potential like hit that is right healthcare related. Here's where like when you start diving into this, it gets even crazier, right? So Brian Thompson, right, who was the CEO, last year he made 10.2 million from the company. In 2022 he made 9.8, and in 2021 he made 9.6 million. So in the last 3 years he's up 30 mil.
Brian's been busy.
Had just had he was about to be under investigation. He was facing insider trading allegations. He was about to go under a class action lawsuit that alleged he sold 15 million of his United Health Group shares when he knew that the company was under investigation by the DOJ. So already, right, like, okay, we're just going to put that in a bucket. We're going to put that in a bucket for later for our mushroom trip. All right. What? So
insider trading. No,
right.
That's not a thing. Come on.
So this hitman, right? Like he's in New York City. There's cameras fucking everywhere. Right? They only get like a partial shot. It wasn't a bad partial shot, but I think it was from like a fucking Starbucks or something, like of his face. Right. Yeah. Everything else he's got like a surgical, like a COVID mask on and a hoodie. Right.
Yeah.
You gotta make this dude out. He checks into a hostel under a fake name. I don't quite know if there were fake credit cards involved, but there had to have been something, because after he kills, right, like he assassinates, he murders this dude, the CEO.
Yeah.
He jumps on an e-bike and takes off into like Central Park, right? Dumps his backpack. Looks like he's dumping stuff, and they can track him to like a bus station, and then it goes completely cold. And if you followed this like manhunt over the last 5 days, like the cops have been coming out like, oh, we're close, we're so close, we know, and they were like, we know we think he went to Atlanta, and like, like, oh, okay, like, I'm curious how they know that, but okay, all right, like maybe they followed this dude to this bus, right? Like they're like, he took a bus to Atlanta. And then they're like diving into like the little rivers, like in Central Park, right? Little bodies of water
Yep.
where like he crossed over the bridge on his little e-bike, and then they find his backpack, and they're like, "Oh, it was full of Monopoly play money." And you're like, "Okay, interesting,
Oh boy.
interesting, right?" So
That is
today,
interesting.
this is what allegedly happens. This dude, Luigi Mangaloni, whatever, Luigi
Oh, Luigi
from
from the Mangaloni family.
you know, he goes into a fucking McDonald's, and allegedly the McDonald's person, like the Mickey D
Oh,
human, like spots this dude and calls the cops. They show
in
up, right,
Pennsylvania, right?
in Pennsylvania.
That's what I
Like,
heard.
he's in like Altoona, like nowhere, middle of fucking nowhere, Pennsylvania, like central Pennsylvania. Like they allegedly see this dude and call the cops, and like some rookie cop shows up and is like, "This dude's weird, like he's acting weird," and they search him, and they find conveniently a handgun, unserialized ghost gun,
Ooh,
a suppressor,
ooh,
fake IDs,
ooh.
and a manifesto, like a handwritten manifesto, like 3-page document in his pocket.
He just naturally was like, "Hey, I'm going to keep all these with me."
Yeah, we're gonna go there. We're gonna go there in a second. We're gonna go there in a second. Yes, God, we're going there in a second.
Okay. I get it. Continue, Will.
Yeah,
Continue.
So okay. So they arrest this dude, right? So now let's look into this kid's history, right? Like he's 26 years old, no military background that we know of, right? No, period. No military background. The dude was not in the service, right? Like no law
Yep.
enforcement, no military, no none of that, right? Is a graduate from the most prestigious, arguably, private high school in the U.S. in Maryland. He was valedictorian. Then he goes to UPenn. He gets a bachelor's in information systems, and I think like a master's in computer engineering. And I might have gotten that backwards, but bottom line is, right, like a computer guy, right? Like
Yep.
computer engineering degree, right? Like, okay, okay, I could see now the 3D printed gun. Okay, cool, right? Like, so very well educated, like Ivy League school master's degree, 426. And that's pretty much where we're at now. Like, there's a ton of speculation. They're digging into this guy like he bought a car from truecars.com. like you're like, oh, okay, cool. What good job, fucking CNN. Like, loved you. I don't know, man.
He bought a car.
He bought a fucking car like one time. Like
He went to a basketball.
he had a job as a video game designer at a high school in Maryland. You're like,
oh, freaking rock hard now.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, like great, like
Slow down.
easy. So that's where we're at, right? Okay, and you already started pointing out like there's some weird. Okay, now we're going into conspiracy. Like
There's some weird shit that just
like
doesn't.
it might as
make
well
sense.
like this dude might as well have had a fucking billboard over his head. Like I'm the guy. Like right here.
I mean, he seemed so. At least from the CCTV footage, obviously, I'm looking at that and I'm like, you know what? This guy definitely knew what he was doing. This was pre-planned. Like he definitely did he put in some energy and effort. This wasn't just like a disgruntled, just like emotional reaction. This was like planned, you know. He probably knew a hotel, he probably knew the conference, he knew his target, you know. There's work that goes into that, you know.
Yeah.
And he put in that work, you know, to include getting a ghost gun, you know, and just something that's untraceable in that nature, you know. And this guy would definitely either was either is experienced or very well trained or coached, you know. But when you see all those actions, you're just like, okay. And then the conversation is going like, we're searching New York, we're closing all the exits, this guy's here and all this stuff. I'm watching it, and I'm even having a conversation with some buddies at work, and they're just like, yeah. And I said, hey, I'll be real with you. Based off those behaviors, this guy's not in New York.
Fuck
He's
no.
gone. He's gone. In fact, he wants them to think he's in New York, and he's probably gonna like do whatever he can. But this was planned, so more than likely, this guy is not in New York. And I was very surprised. Honestly, I thought that I was like, you know what, this guy. And here's where I was wrong, because I assumed this guy was going to get rolled up somewhere in Canada. I was like, hey, this guy's probably going to get rolled up somewhere in Canada. Watch, that's where I just that's where I put my parlay. I was like, hey, he's getting rolled up in Canada. Watch, but the way he got rolled up, it just doesn't make sense. If you put in all that effort to plan it and execute, now maybe I could be wrong. Maybe he just got the luck of the draw and made it look like that. Everything just kind of connected for the guy. Maybe he did just kind of overreact and just act off emotion. But why would you carry all that with you when you already put in the effort to ditch the bag? Like a bag full of Monopoly money, you put in that effort to ditch that bag, but you didn't ditch the weapon or a manifesto. Why would you carry them? Like, unless you were blatantly like waiting to get caught, unless you're like, hey, let me go inside this McDonald's and let me see if they notice me, And the other question I have is, what the hell did he order?
Yeah.
I want to know what a guy like that orders at McDonald's. Is he a Big Mac guy or a nice, good double quarter pounder with cheese? I don't even know, but I'd be damned if he ordered chicken nuggets and that's
got
it.
the mixed snitch special, man.
The mixed snitch special. Oh boy. Hey, McDonald's, if you're not capitalizing on some good marketing here, there's a good marketing opportunity for you guys to start thinking about it. Our food catches terrorists and assassins, the assassin special. I'm going to take the number 7, that assassin special over there.
the number 007.
The number 007, that number 007 up there. But no, I'm curious to know your thoughts, Will, because a lot of that just it doesn't make sense when you apply that common sense analysis, knowing our experiences and our expertise, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, when you look at it, man, like, so prior to today, like yesterday I was having this conversation. Like I was like, okay, it's one of like two things. Right? Like, based off of like, hey, utilize fake IDs, suppressors, right? Like, you don't see that. Like, that's not right. Like,
no,
to be able to cover your face the entire time, like to take those steps, right? To write the things on the rounds, right? I see it as like one of two things, right? Either A, potentially ex-military. This was what was going through my head, right? Like ex-military, maybe soft, like has some experience or background in this type of work. And then, had gotten kind of fucked over by the, wife had cancer
and stuff.
Had cancer or something, right? And they
Freaking
denied
John
her
Q
coverage,
story,
right? Yeah, right. Like, he fucking John Wick's that shit, right? Like, and he's right, like, into the wind, and good luck. Okay, like bucket 1, right? Bucket 2, I'm like, that was professionally done. Like, this has all the hallmarks of very fucking professionally done. And hey, I'm going to like had something to do with, I don't know, I'm about to fucking maybe the CEO's about to snitch for, right, the DOJ investigation, maybe, right? Like, right, he's about to piss off some very, very fucking important, well-off people, and they don't want this dude around anymore. And they hire a real pro to go do this, right? We're talking fake IDs. How do you rent one of those scooters? You have to have a credit card.
Yeah, you have to have
you have to have an account, right?
Or
like
some kind of account established on a phone to go over there and just scan it.
He has a drop phone. He has, right? Like, there's a drop phone also involved, right? So, hey, let me throw all these little red herrings into, right, exactly what bucket 1 was,
Mm-hmm.
right? And really it's bucket 2 of like somebody paid a nice little chunk of cash to have old boy, you know, and um you know, again, right? Like true professional, that dude's fucking in the wind. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
cool. To find out, right? Like it's some 20 something year old, right? Like out of college kid. Um, the level of planning, again, right? Like this is where it doesn't, like there's so many things that just don't make fucking sense. Like the level of planning that is required to do something like this and to pull it
Mm-hmm.
off in the way that he did, right? Either he's obviously the kid's smart, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
otherwise he doesn't get as far as he did in the first place.
Yeah.
Um, uh, but right, like to have the manifesto on you, why didn't you, right? Like they were searching those fucking bodies of water for the gun because they were like, there's no, like he dumped it, like he's literally
Yeah.
like he's walking through or he's riding his little fucking e-bike or you know whatever through the park, and he's like taking it apart and fucking throwing it in different parts of the water, right? Like good luck,
Oh yeah.
motherfuckers. Like try and find that shit. That would have made sense. The bag full of Monopoly money, right? Like just to fuck with them. Right? Right. Why would you still have the fake IDs on you? Right? Like
It all doesn't make sense.
what? Right?
Unless
And
he was literally desiring to get caught, right? Like
yeah,
he
yeah,
wanted to get caught.
that's the only like I don't know. Here's the other thing, and it's gonna be interesting over the next few days. Where did he get the suppressor? Right, that's an NFA item. Like I'm going through that process right now. Thank you, Silencer Central. Um, that's not an easy thing to get. Was it a 3D printed? I know it's possible, in theory, to 3D print one of those. If he was using subsonic rounds, okay, he could probably get a few shots off before that thing goes to shit. And obviously
Yeah.
he did. Like he literally like walked up and popped that dude. There's video footage of it. Um, and like there's people around, but not like close around, like that don't bat a fucking eye.
Yeah. And those silencers, I mean, when it first came out, I don't know. I read something that it was like a 22 long rifle or it was 22 pistol. In my mind, because I've shot in a 22 with a silencer, and I mean that thing just sounds like you just drop something like in a library. No one's gonna turn their head.
Yeah.
It's so silent, so quick. And same thing if it was a 9 mil. I mean those silencers. I mean
If
people
you're
probably
using
just thought,
subsonic, yeah, it depends on the ammo, right? Like,
yeah,
so that's where you start getting into, right, the crack of the bullet going supersonic, right? That's what you hear is
mhm,
the bullet, right, breaking the sound barrier. If you are using subsonic ammunition, right, and a suppressor, you know, and it's decent, really the primary thing you're hearing is the action moving, right? Like you're just
yeah,
literally hearing the click of the pistol moving back and forth more so than the round going off.
yep,
Um, I saw they had a picture online, and I was kind of looking around for it. It looked like 9 mil. I don't know. So that's like in the next few days, like as more information actually comes out and maybe the police are a little more forthcoming, this is where I start to question things. Did they have this dude on the radar, right? Like they had like I said, like a half picture, right? Like of his face, right? Like if you're telling
yeah,
me that the McDonald's dude recognized him and then all the dudes that he went to school with, his family, like didn't recognize him and didn't say shit, like, okay. Like okay, they might have, and right, the cops were keeping it close hold, like they don't want to put this dude's name out there, um, and say, "Yep, this is the guy that we're looking for right now," right? Like
yeah,
because once he knows, right, then he's really in the fucking wind,
yeah.
right? They want him to pop his head up, so it's going to be interesting over the next few days. Like, where did he, right? What's the actual motive? I just saw a couple hours ago, right? We're doing this in the evening, right, of the 9th, is when we're
Mhm.
recording this. But I saw a couple hours ago somebody, they're scouring this dude's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok,
Oh, of course.
every media organization's like digging for anything that they can find. And they saw like it was a X-ray of somebody with like screws in their back. So again, right, like, is that the nexus, right? Is the nexus like, hey, screwed over by the healthcare industry?
Yeah.
And so, right, hey, I'm gonna get me revenge, and I'm like, I don't know, borderline genius level kid. Just right, like it goes back to that coaching thing. Like something doesn't make sense. Like to go get the fake IDs, to use the drop phone, to right, like
Oh yeah.
either he's really like he went deep into Reddit and like he scraped the fucking Reddit hole and was able to come out with that like hey, like here's how you do it, like here's how you'd really do it, and he damn near pulled it off. If they don't get that one shot of his face, right, like where like again, like he's got this
They
hoodie
wouldn't
on,
have found him.
they
Yeah.
don't find that dude, right?
When
Like
he
that.
was in it was a hostel, right? He
Yeah.
was in a hostel, and that footage was from when he checked into the hostel or something.
Yeah. And allegedly they have like DNA off of his Starbucks cup, which doesn't, again, also kind of doesn't jive.
Dude, I don't know about that. I don't know.
Like you're telling me that like they found this dude's Starbucks cup in the middle of New York down in Times Square, and we're able to swap DNA off of it?
When there's literally a Starbucks
What?
like at every corner.
Yeah, how many Starbucks cups are in that fucking trash can? Like, really? Like, how many times a day is like the trash picked up down there? Like, what? What?
There's so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the same day. Like, I don't know. Like that the timeline pieces aren't. There's some things that aren't quite jiving, but like he had them fucking fooled. If it wasn't for like the McSnitch,
The mixed snitch.
and so yeah.
Hey, you think McDonald's is gonna give that person a raise?
No, that motherfucker better go into hiding. And that's the other such like it's such an interesting part of this, right? Like, so right, okay. The dude, right, like obviously is a very well-off human, right? Like very
Yeah.
high profile company that is arguably pissing a lot of people off for their policies. As this dude gets paid 10 million a year, and there are people dying or seriously fucked up or getting put in the
Yeah.
poorhouse because they keep getting denied insurance coverage for insurance that they're paying for. Okay, so people lose their shit. This is still right. This is still a dude. Like it's still a man, a father, right? Like he's got 2 kids, right? Who was gunned down. And the overwhelming response by the majority of this country has been fuck that guy. Like it's so wild. Like the number, I know you've seen them. Yeah, right. Like the number of memes and things that I have seen celebrating the murder of a person on the street in New York City.
Yeah.
Is outrageous. Right, which speaks to like the level of frustration. One of the other major insurance companies within hours or a day of this happening was like, hey, we had just put out a policy that we were going to stop covering the anesthesia for certain surgeries. Like we were only going to cover part of that. Yeah, we're gonna cover all of that. Our bad. Like,
ooh,
like with this
guy. So you're saying this guy's gonna go down as a martyr?
No. Like they were like, this is gonna be bad. Press coverage.
Oh yeah,
we just put out this policy, and like every CEO, right, like that's working for one of these major corporations is like, I better hire some fucking high level security. Like. I need some fucking John Wicks protecting my ass because that's wild.
There you go, dude. Job opportunity.
Pass. I don't know. That dude was making 10 mil. How much you paying?
He'll probably pay you 10 grand a week.
No. No, I'm good. No, I'm good. I'm good.
Man, no, that is yeah, there's just too much. It doesn't make sense, you know. And you know what's crazy is I'm comparing this to also the you literally had not too long ago a dude who literally took a shot at the president elect.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, that dude, within a couple days, he disappeared. Like they didn't even do, I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure they didn't even do a toxology report. They didn't let him do an autopsy. They didn't release none of that. And all of a sudden, they're just, oh yeah, we burned the guy. Like that's it. We got rid of the body. He's dead. We burned him and he's gone. And I was like, wait, what? But yet for this dude, they're putting in all this focus on this guy and no focus on the dude who literally shot at the president-elect of the United States. You know, almost killed him. Almost legitimately almost killed him.
Yeah, it's really interesting, man. The way that like literally everything just wraps up so neatly into a package, either right, like this dude did all of the research, did all of the prep work, did all of the like to get himself to the goal line, and then just had zero fucking clue what to do after that. Right?
Except
or if we're going down the fucking rabbit hole,
he must have wanted those French fries. Holy crap.
If we're going down, why did you use the drive-through, homie?
Use the drive-through.
Use the drive-through.
DoorDash.
For fuck's sake, man. Uber Eats, something. I mean, come on. You know, what? It's gonna be real convenient if this guy unalives himself here in the next fucking 48 hours. And
I was just gonna
like,
say,
oh yeah, like that was it. That was it.
I was just
We're
gonna
going
say,
down the rabbit hole. Like, where's Hillary these days?
He's gonna Epstein himself, you know?
Yeah, right. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so weird, dude.
Because
it's just something
you know,
smells.
if this guy talks and if one of your theories, there's gonna be some names dropped. You know, there's gonna be like there's some loose ends that gotta be if one of those theories that you said plays out, but there's definitely some loose ends
It's either that or, you know, if we're going again, right? Like we're down the rabbit hole, right? If this dude was heavily coached, right? It was by a pro that literally like lined up the things for it to be in the box. Yeah. So there's no questions, right? Like, well, somebody told me, like, who? The guy, you know, his name is Steve Jobs in this drop phone that he gave me.
Yeah,
like,
I never seen him.
Yeah, I've never met him.
I never met him. And that's it. That's all I know.
Yeah, bro. It's yeah.
So let me ask you, Will, what are your predictions within the, you know, what do the next 48 hours look like?
I don't know. I mean, so right, he was arraigned today in Pennsylvania on those gun charges, right? Like, hey, you were carrying a ghost gun, you know. I don't even want to use that term, right? Like a 3D printed lower that you assembled and a fucking suppressor. Again, I want to find out all of the things about that because that is not an easy item to get.
Yep.
And there's a lot that goes behind that. And I don't know, man. I mean, they're obviously going to transfer him back up to New York. He allegedly isn't really talking to the police. There are many amendments. I can only choose one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'll be interesting to see, right? Like what a defense has.
I was just going to say
about this. And then what's the fucking, like, nobody's figured that out yet. What's the real motive, right? It's going to be interesting to see what happens with this. Like, oh, there was a thing on his, you know, social media with this x-ray with, you know, whatever. but again, like there's just everything is in this nice little box where you can just right. Like if you ignore like all the craziness associated with it, it just wraps up so neatly.
I wonder what that interview is like.
Oh, yeah.
When those detectives or the FBI, whoever, they pull him in the room and he's just like, yeah, no, man, I wasn't in New York, you know?
Right. Or I
Like,
mean, really, it sounds like, I mean, dude,
like,
you had
here's
a
my
fucking
alibi.
suppressor, like you had a 9mm or you had a handgun. I keep saying 9mm. It looked like a 9mm from the picture that they showed. You had a handgun and a suppressor on you, minimum, with a fucking manifesto. Like that's not a good look right off the bat. And the fake IDs that were used.
But are those enough charges to
1000%. Like it wraps up like so neatly in a little box, right? Like, and then allegedly they have his DNA, right? Like they have
Yeah.
DNA from a cup, right? That the shooter drank from, right? Before he, right? Maybe he had a Starbucks right before he fucking shot this dude. What was his Starbucks order?
Yeah, what was his Starbucks order? Hey, Starbucks, another marketing opportunity.
Triple shot.
Triple shot. Let's go.
Oh man. Yeah. It's interesting, man. It's super interesting. And again, the way that the country has reacted to this, again, very interesting, right? Like we're cracking jokes about this dude getting murdered.
Yeah, that did. You know what's crazy though is like I feel like we're in the times of if you watch all those Batman movies, we're like in those Gotham times.
Yeah.
Like the elite, and then you have basically just like there's just the lower class, and they're like at war against the elite. Like they just hate them, regardless. They hate the elite, like in all the Batman movies, And I just finished that series, Penguin. Good series. I recommend it if you guys haven't checked it out on HBO Max, if you have it. But it literally just shows the whole beginning of how Penguin got started. And he literally was like, that's how he started. He just embedded himself with like the ghetto people in the ghettos, the slums of Gotham, and just built his empire, against the elites, And geez, by you telling me that, it's like, I mean, people literally, social media is just going crazy and the memes are coming out. And it's like, yeah, like they're ignoring the fact that this was a human being. This was a man. This was a father. This was a husband. They just see, oh, this guy was an elitist in an empire that's very supposedly corrupt, and just making money and taking advantage of all the people. And boom, next thing you know, they're just like, yeah, whoever, hey, he died. Oh, well, another elitist dies.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's interesting, man. It'll be interesting to see again, like what's the defense? It sounds like this dude lawyered up probably really quick.
Oh yeah.
Right. Which fuck, even if he's innocent, right? Like you accuse me of murder, like the first thing I'm not talking to you. Where's my fucking lawyer? And so it'll be interesting to see, right? Like if they can come up with a clean motive for like this kid that pulled off, a textbook hit, minus the disappearing part, like minus the fucking destroying any evidence part. Like he dumps all that shit and they're like, hey man, like you look a lot like that guy on the like, what are you talking about? Like, my name's fucking Will. Like, right? Like, deny, counter accuse, man. Like, go back to.
Like, I wonder what those conversations like. You probably have old Jimmy or Timmy behind the counter, and he's just like, "Oh, I recognize this guy. Hey, hold on, sir. I'll be right back. What'd you say? Fries, right? Let me go make sure those fries are good." And they go back there.
Make sure that fries are hot for you.
Yeah. Hey, Albert. Is that the dude we saw on the news?
Yeah,
that looks like him. I don't know. Pull up your phone. Let's check. I think he's here. And he's probably there like, hey man, you guys gonna give me my fries? Like, I'm ready. Right. Yeah, sir. That's for here, right? Or They
they
probably
fucked
didn't
it up,
even
man.
offer to
Hold on.
go. They're just like, that's for here.
Yeah.
Hey, call old Timmy. He's on patrol right now. I went to high school with him.
Yeah, right.
You know.
Oh man. Yeah, it's interesting, man. Interesting times.
Holy crap, man. And that's not even just like the beginning of it. There's so much other stuff going on right now.
For real.
I mean, we got what? We got like 10 minutes we can spare. We can talk about some of the stuff here going on. Guys, comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know your thoughts on this whole situation with Will's man Luigi. And we'll see how things are going over there, you know. And like Will
Was
said,
there a Mario? That's the question. Was there a Mario? Was this Luigi like he's fucking second fiddle? Was there a
going solo,
Mario?
or you know, where's Mario at? You know,
Where's
was
Mario?
the coach or what? You know, we don't even know. How funny would that be if it comes out where this guy
Oh,
says
dude.
he's coach and
Shut
the
the
dude's
fuck up.
name, it was a code name Mario. That just came to mind right now. How crazy would that be? Fucking Mario and Luigi. The hunt is out for Mario. Codename Mario.
I was doing it for Peach. Fuck out of
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Well, so we'll segue into this, guys. We'll touch more into this in the future, but there's something I did want to talk to Will about. You know, there's a lot of chaos right now going on in the Middle East, and I know Will is very well known or familiar with the desert life, as am I, you know, and that's a whole different world out there. Let me tell you that right now. But man, old Mr. Assad, you know, just flew the coop. Flew the coop. On the run. Now, do we know where he's at now? I mean, there's talks that he's in Russia, right?
Yeah,
he's in Russia.
Yeah, him and the family. Him and the family, you know.
Yeah, the family, you know. So I just listened to a Joe Rogan episode with the guest was a gentleman by the name John McPhee. Awesome episode. If you guys haven't checked it out, go check it out. The JRE Experience on YouTube, and it's an awesome episode. But this guy is a former Delta retired Sergeant Major, just like Will, dude, just like you. Retired Sergeant Major. You know, retired Sergeant Major. You know, that's the common denominator. You know, so he knows about those counselings and NCOERs too. You know, but on the other sense, that guy spent a lot of time in the Middle East. You know, he did a lot of clandestine work. He has a real interesting story. One thing he talks about, though, is when it comes to Syria and just his time in the Middle East, he just said that there's some real evil out there that people don't know about.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
for sure.
And these higher ups, these leaders over there, these kings, these princesses, like, you know, they explore that world very well. It's almost like it's common behavior for them. You know, and it used to just blow his mind. It's an amazing story. I won't go too much into it, guys. There's a lot of crazy stuff. I would make sure if you listen to the episode, don't listen to it in front of your children. He goes deep and dark with it. But it's just it's a world outside of our borders, and it's a reality, you know. And he talks about like some of the stuff that Assad, you know, was very well known to do just to his own people. You know, and I mean, I haven't seen there's a lot of uprisings that happen, you know, almost all the time, you know, when you look at Africa and the Middle East, but this one was like quick, man. I mean, if you think about it, the dude like didn't even put up a fight. He was just gone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this has been going on well over a decade, right? Like, right. The Syrian civil war has been right. There's entire swaths of that country that either we owned, the Russians were kind of holding, right. That, you know, there were rebel groups running around all over the place. Really, he was being propped up by the Russians and by the Iranians, right? Now, what is going on currently that would make them not be able to support? Oh, that's right. Oh, and I'm sorry, and Hezbollah. So those were the other, right, like major forces that were inside of Syria. So Israel happens, right? Hezbollah starts fucking with Israel. Israel starts fucking back hard, right?
Yeah.
And really, one of the things, it's interesting. One of the things that Israel,
Even
right,
with the pagers, guys.
yeah. Well,
They got the other episode. We did an episode on that. they went as far as the pagers, exploding,
exploding dicks. So, right. One of the things that exposed Hezbollah and allowed Israel to really kind of dive into their networks was they kept sending trainers to fucking Syria. Right. So it exposed them from an intelligence standpoint on who was where, communication, right? They had to communicate out. That allowed, in part, Israel to be able to gain a better understanding of their networks and be able to pull off that fucking pager shit and the radio shit and all the other shit they were doing. So, okay. So now you've got Iran pulling back. You've got Russia not able to support anymore. And you've got Hezbollah now like getting their asses kicked. They pull all their folks out, all their trainers, all their support mechanisms.
Yeah.
Right. Leaving a very weak Assad regime to deal with it. And now you've got what is essentially an offshoot of ISIS.
Yeah.
That is now taken over the country.
Now is attempting to.
They don't know. No, it's pretty much over. It really is. I mean, they've taken the capital. They have support from Turkey. This is a dude who was running around with Omar al-Baghdadi, I believe, like, right before Trump, authorized the strikes to go kill him. The head of this organization that is now in control in Syria, right, was running around with ISIS. They're very, ISIS aligned. They broke with them. They are trying to start another, I don't want to say Islamic State. It will be an Islamic State, but it is definitely very aligned ideologically, at least, with some of the ISIS ideology, which is terrifying. Like, here we go again.
Yep. Here we go again.
And we had again, right? This is failed U.S. policy over decades that has really contributed to this. Right, we started the Arab Spring by fucking around in the Middle East in places we shouldn't have been fucking around with. Full stop.
So let me ask you this, and we'll go into this in another episode. We'll go ahead and start wrapping up. But let me ask your thoughts on this, Will. Given everything that's going on in the world right now, all right, and I was listening to somebody who we also reacted to, Andrew Bustamante, who is a former CIA operative, but he claims or seems to believe that we are in World War III. This is what World War III looks like in 2024. A lot of people think World War III, they think, hey, they compare it to World War II. Sure. We're not in the 1940s, 1950s anymore. He claims that the actions taken with all these other countries right now, this is what World War looks like. When you have somebody like, you have a country like Syria, where you have Russian and Chinese involvement on one side, funding, supplying, operating on one side. Then you have the U.S. and NATO forces operating as like the equivalent to the Allied forces, and you have this going on throughout the world. And he seems to believe that World War III is basically starts off as like a series of proxy wars. Because if you look at right now what's going on between in Syria, Israel, Ukraine, you're seeing all these influences in all these other countries, but this is what he claims to believe. This is what World War III looks like in 2024, 2025. You know, now the escalation, that's where it wagers at. Where is it going to escalate to or whatever? But he believes strongly that this is what we are in that time. It's just, it is a different time. It's not 1950s. You're not seeing bombers. You're not seeing invasion. Like, you're not seeing bombers going over or anything like that. It is straight. Hey, you got drones out there hitting primary targets. You got all these special operations in different countries operating in their realms. Like, this is what World War III looks like in 2024. You know,
I mean,
but you tell me. I wanted to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts on that
a little bit.
Okay.
I disagree with it. You know, is that maybe how it starts? Sure. Like, but I mean, you look back at Vietnam, Korea, right? Like, we're talking, you know, war, you know, proxy wars into full wars, into conflicts between, right? Like, the Chinese heavily involved, right? It didn't evolve into that, right? Like, that's the story of history, right? Like, you know, so okay, like, now can it escalate from that into what I would more turn into like a world war type scenario? Sure. And we've talked about that, right? Like, Ukraine absolutely has the potential at any day to spiral wildly out of control. Korea, now just a complete shit show. The Middle East, right? With Israel. Israel, as of a few hours ago or yesterday, was conducting strikes into Syria to try and finish off a bunch of the Iranian, Russian support targets, right? Before this Islamist government comes in. And right, like, they have bolstered their border, right? Israel shares a border. So they have bolstered their border for the first time since the fucking like 70s. So, right, like, there's just things that are spiraling, and there's no real policy understanding leadership, I think, coming out of the senior officials of the country. And that's not just a dig on the Dems, right? Like, that's universal. Bush got us into, right? A Republican got us into the Iraq war, which you can very easily argue created ISIS.
Yeah.
And the Arab Spring, which toppled a number of countries across the Middle East and North Africa, and wreaked havoc throughout entire sections of the world, right? Syria being one of them over a decade ago, and resulting in humanitarian crisis across entire swaths of the world. Like, this is not just a Republican problem or a Democrat problem, but nobody has fucked it at this point. So, you know, that's where we're at. Let's see how it goes moving forward. Right? Like, so, you know, can it drastically spin out of control? Yes. You know, we've been able to kind of keep it, you know, mostly in a box that hasn't really affected the average American. And so with that, right, like, what's the US policy? Fuck it. Like, as long as we keep it in a box, keep it over there, keep it fucking rolling elsewhere, like, meh. But we kind of fucking broke it. Like,
yeah. No, I mean, I totally get it, man. And yeah, I was just curious because, you know, the way he brought up some really good points, and maybe we'll have to do a reaction video here to it here in the future. But he did bring up some good points, and a lot of it did make sense, you know, when you start looking at the chess pieces right now on the board.
There's a lot. Yes, there's a lot of chess pieces moving across the board, right? Like
It feels like we're just one negligent shot away from just freaking chaos, from being that shot heard around the world, if you know what I'm talking about, and it's scary. It is scary, but it feels like that's where the tension levels are just so up there all around that you're just one ND away from like chaos, utter world chaos,
for sure.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and drink to that and to world peace, guys. To world peace.
Dilly.
But yeah, man. Oh well. You'll get through it. We'll get through it, guys. We're gonna get through this. All right. Don't let all this doom and gloom hit you. We're giving you that common sense analysis. So listen to it. And then, of course, apply your own and comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. Hey, if you guys think we're in World War III, you think Will is speaking out of his that hole downstairs, hey, by all means, comment down below. Or if you think I'm speaking out of my hole downstairs, comment down below. All right. We want to know your thoughts. I want to know your thoughts, But I don't know, Will. Is there anything else you'd like to cover here? I think we pretty much covered it for this episode.
Yeah, man.
I mean, there's probably so much we can dive into, but you guys are just going to have to like and subscribe and stay tuned.
Just click the subscribe button. Tell 2 friends to click the subscribe button. They tell 2 friends, and they tell 2 friends, and they tell 2 friends, and they tell 2 friends.
Hell yeah.
And then we dominate the world.
Yeah, that's right. Pinky and the Brain style.
Yeah.
If those of you remember that show. But hey, guys, also too, all right, if you guys do, all right, I've gotten some really cool photos. Some of you viewers out there have followed me on my Discord and you follow me on Instagram, and you guys will send me DMs and you send me pictures of you literally watching an episode in your living room. One,
that's fucking
Will
cool.
and I, we really love that. That is super cool. That is freaking awesome. Continue mission on that. But next time, tag me in that because we want to give you guys a shout out. We will literally give you a shout out here because definitely, man, that support, if you guys are giving us your time and energy, you know what? We're going to give some time and energy back to you guys as well. So let us know. Keep doing what you're doing. But this time, don't be so shy. Don't be so shy back there. Step up to the front of the formation and we're going to take care of you. Make sure you get the attention you deserve. All right. I'm pretty sure Will agrees with me on that.
Hell yeah.
Also, guys, don't forget, hey, the Comfort and Chaos Shop. The Chaos Shop is live right now. Links in the description down below. You already know my favorite snapback. Will, his is on his way. He doesn't even know about it, but he's got some good gear coming his way right now. We had a little argument with the distributor and manufacturer, but you know what? All that got settled now, over some McDonald's, but it's all taken care of. But guys, you already know my favorite is the Comfort and Chaos Snapback Special Edition. These are probably not going to be on the shelf for very much longer, but definitely get yourself one if you can. It's a great conversation starter. Definitely gets the attention going wherever you wear it because people know that you're just like, wow, I've never seen that before. What does that mean? And you go ahead and you dive into the story, So it's a great conversation starter, guys. Get yourself one. Links in the description down below. And when you do get one, take a picture, post it, tag us, and we're going to give you guys a shout out as well. We might even pull your picture. If you give me the permission, we'll pull your picture right up here. You can even cover Will. I'll just pull it right here. You can just cover Will right there, as we give you a good shout out, All right, guys. That's going to do it for us tonight. Guys, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in and giving us your presence as well. We really do appreciate it, both Will and I. And we're going to continue to pump some stuff out for you guys as the world starts to kind of, I don't know, dive into the chaos pool, and splashing everything out there. It's going to be forever, guys. I don't know. Will, you got any last words for the team?
I've got some investment opportunities.
Whoa.
Like I hear there's a new Bitcoin. There's new Bitcoin on the a new coin on the market. Like I heard the Haktua girl has some investment. So I mean, I'm just gonna go all in. I'm gonna go all in. We're gonna see how it works out.
Hey, you do that, man. You go all in. Let us know, what is it called? The Hawk coin. That Hawk Tua.
Hawk Tua. I don't fucking.
The Hawk.
I'm going
Tua,
all in. I'm just gonna
coin.
like
guys.
whole bank account.
I'm gonna tell you straight up. All right, ignore what Will's saying. Don't do that. Okay, don't do that. All right, especially when you got to go buy Timmy's and Jimmy's some gifts this Christmas season.
You're gonna miss out going to the moon.
Don't do that. All right, guys, don't do it. There's a lot of chaos going into that, but we're going to dive into that in another video. So don't worry. There's still a lot of stuff. There's still a lot of details. There's still a lot of stuff coming out on that, but we'll dive into that here later on. But don't go buy hot coins. Okay. I'm just going to give you, if there's any advice I can give you right now.
Coming out. Look at you little motherfuckers. Do not go buy the hot coin.
Don't do that. Don't do that to your kids. Okay. Go get them a gift or something. Go and buy some gold. Invest in that. Give them a certificate or something, but don't go buy the crypto hot coin. Yeah. No, don't do it. It's a meme coin. Don't even do it. Just save your money. Save your money.
You're not going to take financial advice from the girl who spits on cock?
Is that what that means? I'm just kidding. On that thing, you got a hot tool on that thing. No, that's what she said, guys. That's literally what she said. I'm just repeating what she said. All right, guys. Anyways, hey, from my world to yours, guys. Hey, do your push-ups, take your vitamins, drink your water, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Out. Damn, that Basil Hayden, man. That toasted goes so smooth. That's my new favorite right there.
Told you, man. That's just delicious.
Dude, we didn't even get into your freaking clips, man. My bad.
No, you're good. We just were talking through it, man. It's
good. We did. My bad. Next time you got to tell me, be like, hey, man, I got a clip I want to show.
Sometimes, I forget.
I forget too. I literally forget.
We start talking and rapping, and then I'm like, I just said, I was thinking about it. I was like, I just talked through that entire clip, like everything that they were going to hit, because it's all in my fucking dome space. And why even bring it up at this point?
Do you not have headphones? I noticed in the middle of episode, I'm like, he doesn't have headphones on. Oh, look at this guy.
My kiddo broke my gaming headset because that's what I use in my gaming headset. It's the second one he's broke, and so I made him buy a new one. And it's on the way. I was like, fuck, I don't have headphones. I was like, let me just grab. This actually worked because they've got an earbud in and you can't see it.
I know. You're going full Tom Brokaw style, full CNN.
I've got it tucked plan style under the jacket and running up.
I know. You should be like, hey, wait, hold on. This is coming in right now.
Well, I had to, a couple times while we were talking, I had to go up and press it back into my ear because it was trying to pop out.
Hey, I think it's actually pretty cool. I was like, kind of jealous. I was like, how is he doing this without headphones? Like, I need my headphones or else I can't hear them.
I can just pop the one in so you can't
I thought maybe you had a speaker system set up so that you can just hear your output from the speaker.
Oh, sure.
And it's just not coming into the mic like the way you have it set up so you can just hear it.
Yeah.
Because I've seen that done too. Because some people don't like to wear headphones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It worked.
Hell yeah, man. Okay, so I'm gonna get this episode. I'm gonna try to edit it real quick. And post it so it can comes out tomorrow. That way, when I'm in the van, because I'm TCing one of the vans tomorrow.
Yeah.
Guess what we're listening to in my van?
Yeah. Love it.
Fuckers, if you want to stop at Buc-ee's, everybody better subscribe right now. That's all it's out.
Yeah. I love it.
I'm going to have fun with it.
I started cutting through the John shit, man. I've just been getting my ass beat at work.
I know. It's going to be a lot. Trust me, I know. And that was on our old software, so it's going to be tricky too. So
that's not the tricky part. That's easy. I pop it into my shit runs clean, dude. I pop it in and it just I uploaded the entire however many hours left that you sent to me, 2 or 3.
Yeah, it's like 2.5.
It took 30 seconds. It was up in my software. I can hit play. I can cut it. I can I just gotta find the fucking time to do it. And then I need to, as soon as you
Dude.
hit send on this one, I need to do some cuts because I'm like already envisioning like where I'm gonna fucking put shit in there on this one.
No, man, I know. Trust me, editing. That's the
takes
freaking
time.
thing. It
Yeah.
takes all the time.
Yeah.
Is the editing, you
Yeah,
know? And
for
now
sure.
I know why all these big YouTubers like they actually pay somebody to just
fucking
do all their edits. Like that's their
Yeah.
job. Just
Yeah.
be an editor.
We need to get a
So,
Jamie.
I know, dude. We just dude, what's
Not
your
like
son?
an unpaid Jamie. Like
Is your son on a job? Let's just tell him, hey,
dude.
good at editing.
I've been trying. He keeps telling me he wants to do his own.
Tell him. Bring him on here. We'll do an episode with your son.
No. Like he wants to do his own like game
YouTube
stream.
channel. Oh yeah. No, my
And
son
I was
wants
like,
to.
I got the stuff. Like I bought him like the transfer card and shit. And like I'm like, okay, like let's set
the
it up.
capture card.
And every time like we're like about to, he's like, nah, I'm just gonna play Fortnite. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to edit this shit.
Yeah, it takes my boy, he's doing the same thing. He's like, I want to get a Twitch account, Dad.
Yeah.
I want to start streaming on Twitch. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'll help you set it up, dude, but it takes time, man. You gotta understand. Like I tell him the reality, like, you want to stream Fortnite. Let me tell you how many streamers are streaming Fortnite right now on Twitch. There's like almost like 50,000 streamers right now on Twitch.
I was playing with Ken Carroll the other night, not Fortnite, fucking Call of Duty.
Oh, no shit. We need to play, dude.
We were fucking he plays every night. We were fucking slaughtering this team. Like and we saw like
what were you guys playing? Warzone or what were you playing?
we were, at the time I think we had like 5 or 6 dudes on. So we had a full team. Like I think we maybe had 5 out of 6 slots filled. On the other side that just sucked fucking dick. Terrible. Pulled up his shit. He reported every fucking one of us within like 30 seconds.
Are you serious?
Motherfucker, this dude was so garbage. These motherfuckers, they look at him cheating. Look at him cheating. Pop in and like we're just talking like, hey man, like pushing right, like flanking left, dude, up on this fucking we're in Volterra. Hey, up on the fucking window right there on the left, and fucking pop. Like this dude would pop his head up. Pop. That's fucking slaughter. These motherfuckers. I got the video too. Oh, it's so funny.
Oh man, I gotta see this.
We pulled a stream. I'll find it. I'll send it over to you.
Oh, hell yeah.
He reported all of us like within 45 seconds of us playing. Like none of us cheating.
What does Ken Carroll play on?
He plays PC. He's fucking good too.
Oh, dude.
He's real good.
Is he officially like retired? Is he out?
Yeah.
He should be.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think his last official date, he's out. He's done.
Yeah, he's probably on terminal and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, he's on terminal right now. He goes full time with the company that I work for now.
So he's coming out to Colorado?
No, we're all remote, dude.
Oh.
He moved to Montana. He's in the middle of nowhere, Montana.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. But he goes full time like next week after, I think. I'll have to find that fucking video. He might not have posted it there. Oh shit. But yeah, I'll send it to you, man. It's hilarious. Like I've got the timestamp and everything of when this fucking clown was like, dude, this fucking guy's cheating. That's how it's so funny. Yeah.
Bro,
Other than that, man.
is it still recording right now?
Oh, it is.
Why is it what?
Live. Are we live?
I ended the recording.